Hey, welcome back to Nick's Picks. This is Nick Wietosh with episode 10. Today I'm going to talk about the last really big week of wrestling that has been going on. Starting with AEW. For once, I actually watched the show. Well, I watched Rampage 2 weeks ago. I watched Rampage last week as well. And watched a little bit of Dynamite from last week. And it's starting to grow on me. I'm going to start actually trying to watch Wednesday nights and Friday nights. The last Friday was the first dance of Rampage, and it was in Chicago. Obviously, a lot of people took that as, a really big name is going to return, and he did. CM Punk is back. I thought, though, he was going to come out at the very end, but he came out right away. And then we saw 3 matches that started. It started with Jurassic Express versus Private Party. It was a tag title eliminator tournament match, and the winner will face from Wednesday's Dynamite this week, the Varsity Blondes or the Lucha Bros. The winner of that match will face Jurassic Express for a championship, a tag team championship match at All Out, which is a steel cage match. And then we saw Jon Moxley beat Daniel Garcia. Or I'm sorry, that was the main event. We saw Jade Cargill and Kiera Hogan. And then Moxley and Garcia. All 3 matches were decent. I enjoyed them all. I do like that Rampage is only an hour long and they only have 3 matches. But on top of those 3 matches, we did get a pretty lengthy promo from CM Punk, which he did announce that he will be at Dynamite this week and All Out. And at All Out against Darby Allin is the first time we'll see him back in the ring. That's kind of cool. He gave all of Chicago ice cream bars whenever they left the United Center, which is really cool. He paid for them all as well. That was completely his idea. But looking at the rankings for an AEW, the heavyweight champion is Kenny Omega. He's 6-1 in singles competition this year. The TNT champion is Miro. He's 11-0 in singles competition. And then Christian Cage, who's 7-0 and has an AEW title match against Kenny Omega at All Out. And then we have Darby Allin, who's 16-2 right now in singles competition. Orange Cassidy 13-1-1. Jungle Boy 13-2 in singles. Powerhouse Horse 13-2 in singles. The women's rankings: Britt Baker, the women's champ, 13-1 in singles competition. I did enjoy watching her in Rampage, the Rampage episode in Pittsburgh. She's probably now my favorite AEW wrestler besides Jon Moxley. Chris Statlander is 14-0 in singles competition. Thunder Rosa 23-2. Tay Conti 22-3. Hikaru Shida 12-1 singles. Penelope Ford 11-2 in singles. Like I said, CM Punk came back. I thought the first match we'd see would be Punk and Moxley, but it's going to be Punk and Darby Allin. Alright. Getting a little bit away from Rampage and AEW for right now. SummerSlam. The kickoff show started with Big E and Corbin. Corbin, who had stolen the Money in the Bank briefcase from at SmackDown a couple weeks ago. Big E finally got it back. And that was a decent kickoff show match, although I think that if that would have been on the main card, that would have been completely okay. And they could have replaced the match that was actually on the main card with that one. But on the main card, it started off with the Raw Tag Team Championship, and RK Bro, Riddle, and Randy Orton are now the tag team champions, which I'm a huge fan of. I can't stand AJ Styles or Omos. After that match, we saw Alexa Bliss beat Eva Marie, and Doudrop, I guess, hopefully, turned on Eva Marie and is no longer going to be associated with her. After that one, after Eva Marie and Alexa Bliss, we saw Drew McIntyre and no. That went to the United States Championship, I believe. We got the I'm sorry, we got Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal. That one I didn't really care for. Drew won, so I was happy. That was my pick. I got that one right, but I'm not a fan of McIntyre and the Jinder Mahal storyline. I guess they do have some history from back in the day, but I don't know, just not a fan of Mahal. After that match, we did see the United States Championship. Damian Priest is now the United States champ, beating Sheamus. I thought it was a great match, and I'm really happy that Damian Priest won. He was my pick. So I got another one right, and it was a decent match, and I'm hoping that on Raw, maybe we see the first title match that he'll be in will be someone like Ricochet, or maybe Karrion Kross shows up tonight. Who knows? After the United States Championship, we saw... Well, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure the order. I know it just happened, but Okay. Well, I'm going to... The Raw Women's Championship, I know was later in the night. I picked Charlotte winning, and I thought Becky would return after Charlotte won to kind of put her back on the Raw roster which she left, and then we'd get a feud of Charlotte and Becky. But honestly, I would have been okay with Rhea winning and then Becky returning here, which she didn't. Also, I'm hoping that tonight we don't see Rhea come out when Charlotte's cutting a promo and demand that she gets a rematch because she wasn't the one that was pinned. And the same thing we see over and over again with the title and with these same three people. But yes, Charlotte did win and is the new Raw Women's Champion, and there's a lot of confusion on if this is her 12th title or her 15th title. I guess WWE doesn't count her NXT runs in her total, so this is her 12th Women's Championship. I guess they don't count the Divas one that she won at WrestleMania either. But again, yeah, she won, so I got another one right. Going to the SmackDown Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks 2 was what it was supposed to be, but that's not what went down. Throughout the week, they missed and were pulled from multiple live shows, and the reason for that wasn't announced and still hasn't really been confirmed. But on Friday, Bianca was at SmackDown and faced Carmella and Zelina Vega back to back. Time comes for the match, and we hear the announcement of Sasha Banks not being able to compete. So Carmella is the fill-in spot, and we're going to have a match between Bianca and Carmella, even though, like I said, Bianca just beat Carmella on Friday. I was confused on why it was Carmella that came out and not someone like Liv Morgan or Toni Storm, someone who has a win in the last however many months. Toni Storm is 1-0 right now, and Liv Morgan has wins over both Zelina Vega and Carmella. But it turns out that this was just a way for Becky Lynch to return. Becky's back. Becky beat Carmella, took Carmella out of the picture, and then got a match from Bianca and beat Bianca in about 30 seconds. I don't look at this as a squash to Bianca. I think it's going to just start a really good feud with these two, and I'm excited for it. I guess, I don't know if I kind of still got it right. I had Sasha winning whenever I thought Sasha was going to be in the match. But yeah, it was Becky. Becky's back. I'm super excited for it. I couldn't believe it that whenever her music hit, I was screaming, and I'm just very excited that she is back. The SmackDown Tag Team Championship, the Usos retained. They beat the Mysterios. I picked them. Got another one right. Not really much to say about this match. I mean, they always have really good matches. Both these teams. I could watch the Usos versus the Mysterios all the time. Of course, I say that, and this is pretty much all we've been getting for the last, 2 months. But the Usos retained. The Bloodline remains all gold, which I'm a huge fan for. Now, I'd just like to see someone like Naomi be the one to take the title from Becky, which sucks because she just came back and she's now the champ, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But going on to Edge versus Seth Rollins. That was a banger of a match. I think probably the match of the night candidate definitely was Rollins and Edge. This is the only match that I got wrong. Pick-wise, I did pick Rollins, but Edge won. So this is the only match that I got wrong. It was a really good match overall. A couple times I thought Edge was going to lose. I thought Seth was going to win. All the way around. And then finally Edge just ended it and won. The WWE Championship, Bobby Lashley and Goldberg. Wow. Goldberg was looking tired before he even got to the ring. He did his little kick with not even with pyro and was already tired. Start the match and it's going a little bit longer than I was figuring it would go. For a while, Goldberg was looking like he had a chance, and then all of a sudden, somehow he hurt his knee, and the ref stopped the match, and then his son jumped in. Bobby Lashley put his son to sleep, and I know that earlier in the week, it was confirmed that Goldberg only has 2 more matches left, so I'm hoping that it's a while before we see Goldberg again. I really hope he doesn't get a rematch as one of his last 2 matches left. Because that would mean he's literally getting... Say he wins... Say he gets a rematch at Extreme Rules next month, wins the title, then he's going to lose it in Saudi Arabia. It doesn't make sense to me, but... yeah, I guess Goldberg got hurt. They stopped the match. His son came in. Bobby put him to sleep. And now... Who knows if they'll be there tonight, if he'll be there on Raw tonight. But I did pick Lashley winning and got that one right. Going into the main event, probably another, what could be a match of the night. The match everyone wanted to see, everyone was excited for, Cena versus Roman. I picked Roman because I didn't think Cena would really get his 17th championship and then have to disappear and go, film a movie or whatever. And there was also that, okay, if Cena wins, Big E comes out, cashes in, and then they do Big E and Roman gets the title back, but that'd be stupider than whenever Drew lost his title and then got it back from Orton, but Big E did not cash in. I think Big E should cash in on Lashley. That would be great. put Big E back on Raw with the New Day. But this was a very back and forth match. Many, many times Cena had Roman almost pinned. Roman kicked out at like 2.89999 or 2.999 seconds. Very, very close match, back and forth. Roman was on fire, though, on top of it, cutting promos in the middle of the match. It was great. Eventually, Roman did just put it away, and he won. He retained. Cena was there, and then all of a sudden, the Beast music hit, and my jaw dropped, and I don't think I picked my jaw off the ground until I turned the TV off and really comprehended that Brock Lesnar not only is back, but looks great. Not only is back and looks great, but looks like a Viking. Not only looks like a Viking, but he came out smiling and high-fiving everyone, and immediately Twitter took that as, is Brock Lesnar actually going to get a babyface run in the WWE? But not... Brock's facial expressions weren't the big thing for me. The huge thing for me was Paul Heyman looked like he had seen a ghost, but Paul Heyman's face was just out of this world. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee's reactions were out of this world. Probably even better than whenever Cena showed up at Money in the Bank. I can't believe Brock Lesnar's back. I'm excited that Brock Lesnar's back, and honestly, a couple months ago, I've been saying for a couple months, Brock Lesnar would be the one to end Roman's reign. And, I mean, I don't want it to happen right away. I'd be okay with them going 3-4 months if Brock Lesnar's actually going to show up and be this babyface and show up every week doing whatever. Who knows what to expect from this Brock Lesnar, but I'm excited for it. What a night, though. What a night. Definitely was a great pay-per-view. As always, I think Brock's return and Becky's return both, in a way, could have been kind of a reaction because Punk did sign with AEW and debuted and this and that. But I was guessing Becky at least was going to come back once there was the big rumors going around that their match was being pulled because of Sasha and this and that, with them being pulled earlier in the week and then only Bianca being at SmackDown on Friday. I was figuring something was going on, and my guess was Becky was returning, but it still caught me off guard and took me by surprise that she's actually back. And then Brock Lesnar, I guess there was that thought in the back of my mind that, yeah, he could return at SummerSlam and just to return at SummerSlam, or he could return after SummerSlam. I am shocked that they had Becky and Brock both come back on the same night. And a lot of people are mad that they're both on SmackDown now. And Raw, again, has Goldberg. I mean, I agree, but it is what it is. SmackDown is the better show, and Raw needs help. So that was SummerSlam. Going into TakeOver. Going to TakeOver last night. TakeOver 36. I didn't watch it, but I do have like a rundown. The $1 Million Championship, LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes. I guess Grimes won. NXT Championship, Walter and Dragunov. Dragunov won. I had Walter picked, just because I know the history of his incredible 800 plus day title reign. That's insane. Again, I don't watch NXT, so I just picked these off of who I know more. Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, NXT Women's Championship. I had Dakota Kai winning. Gonzalez did retain. The trilogy of Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. Best 2 out of 3 falls. The first match was a traditional match. The second match was a street fight. And then, if necessary, was a steel cage match. Kyle O'Reilly did win. I don't know which matches he won. I just do know that Adam Cole could very well be done in NXT and WWE because apparently he did not sign the $1 million offer that he was given earlier this week. And I think it's because of his Twitch channel. He doesn't want to end that and everything like that. The NXT Championship and Samoa Joe's in-ring return. Samoa Joe is the new NXT champion, and I think that means Karrion Kross is going to show up tonight on Raw. And he would be someone I would love to see go and challenge Damian Priest for the United States Championship. I was kind of hoping that Dakota Kai. I figured if Dakota Kai won, then they would bring Gonzalez up to Raw or whatever. I'm hoping for some more call-ups, and I hope Adam Cole shows up at Raw tonight instead of versus him showing up at Dynamite on Wednesday, because he is a free agent. People are saying he could very well show up on Dynamite on Wednesday in AEW. I guess to end this, I'm going to just review last week's SmackDown and preview a little bit for Raw tonight. Edge opened the show up and gave a great promo. Kind of really went to a different side that I didn't know Edge had, but he went back to the Grood, which that is before I started watching wrestling. We had Ray versus Jey Uso. Jey won. Kevin Owens versus Corbin. Corbin did get the win by disqualification from Big E, but made off with the Money in the Bank briefcase. We had a women's tag team championship contenders match of Shotzi and Tegan Nox versus Natalya and Tamina, and I thought Natalya was still hurt, but apparently she's back. And Shotzi and Tegan are now 3-0 against the team of Tamina and Natalya. And why this wasn't a championship match, I'm not sure. But they're the number one contenders and now have a match for the women's tag team championship. Seth came out and gave a promo and ended up getting a brood bath from Edge. Then we had Montez Ford versus Otis. Otis won. Brick Boogs and Shinsuke had a match against Apollo and Commander Aziz. Shinsuke and Boogs won. And then we had Bianca Belair versus Zelina. Bianca won. Had Bianca Belair versus Carmella. Bianca won again. Then we had one more final face-to-face with Roman and Cena. And they went back and forth. Really great promos, whatever. And then Roman put a stipulation on the match saying if he loses, he'd leave WWE, and that kind of ruined that match. And I guess a lot of people were confused on why they would do that. I don't know if that was all Roman. I don't know if he was supposed to put that stipulation on. Who knows? But that is what happened. And then people who weren't there: Liv Morgan, Toni Storm, and Sasha Banks. Again, I guess Sasha Banks is in quarantine or has COVID or whatever. But she wasn't there on SmackDown, and that kind of, I guess at that point it just was confusing to me, but it didn't say, hey, Becky Lynch is probably going to come back. But so again, tonight on Raw, I guess one big thing that is confirmed is Logan Paul is going to be back in the WWE. I hope he gets a match this time. He's going to be on John Morrison's talk show, Moist TV. And I'm going to try and find a preview for anything else on for tonight. I'm excited though that Logan is going to be back. I think that's huge. It looks like I'm sure Bobby Lashley will speak tonight. Hopefully, we'll probably see Charlotte. Oh, Riddle said he has something big, a big surprise for Randy after their win. I'm hoping we don't have to see Eva Marie. I would love to see Alexa Bliss be the first one to challenge Charlotte for the Raw Women's Championship. But it looks like that's all we have so far that I'm seeing. So, yes. Riddle has a celebration for Randy Orton, and then we're gonna see John Morrison welcome Logan Paul to Moist TV. Um, and I'm hoping this is wow. I guess we're gonna see a tag team matchup of Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Wow. The women's tag team division on both rosters needs a complete revamp, needs so much help. They should just I don't even know what they could possibly do to make that even any better than what it is now, but it's kind of sad that there's really three actual tag teams on the main roster. I'm excited for Raw tonight. I know this is an episode coming out Monday, but I'm gonna post another one Wednesday, and then Saturday after Rampage and SmackDown. And I'm hoping I can find time to talk to a friend or two, and hopefully get a guest on the next episode. But again, I'll have one Wednesday and Saturday, so maybe a guest within the next couple episodes. Thanks for listening and supporting. Follow on Spotify and Anchor, and my Twitter at nweetosh, at NWEITOISH. That will also be in the description of the episode, and it is on the Anchor profile under all my the website with all my links in it and everything. So yeah, again, follow my Twitter and Spotify, and follow me on Anchor. So thanks for listening and supporting.